it was love at first sight for this person, and they are not ashamed to admit that. They have been thinking back on your first encounter with one another, with this energy of looking into your eyes takes my breath away. And there is a lot of certainty and reassurance that they keep circling back around to. They've looked at it from many different angles, and they keep reaching that place of a resounding yes. Yes, this is love at first sight. Yes, this is an experience that from that first moment that you connected with one another, everything shifted in a very amazing direction for them. Emotionally, actually, it feels like their life has not been the same since they first met you. This is somebody that kind of like now in hindsight, they recognize that you have you've changed their life. You turned their life upside down. This is somebody that was just kind of like numb, going through the motions of their day-to-day reality, maybe kind of jaded as far as love and partnerships were concerned. They weren't really meeting anyone interesting, nobody to really connect with. Maybe they'd been single for a while, or were kind of just, over the idea of love and romance altogether, and were like, well, I guess I'll just be single. That's cool. I guess I need to be my own best friend, or, kind of learn to sort of move beyond a place of feeling that I've missed out on something in terms of love and romance in this lifetime, and sort of just count the other blessings in my life as they are appearing, as I have them, as I'm able to kind of build towards these things. And then you came into their world, and everything has shifted. This is somebody that sees you as almost like a second chance to get love and romance and partnership right. Somebody that it feels like they almost feel that the stars have aligned for the two of you to meet one another. You needed to go through certain disappointments, certain lessons. They needed to be in a place of just utterly in their own energy, utterly still within themselves. It feels like in order to even kind of pick up that signal or get that message of like, yeah, this person, like you, the viewer, when you come into proximity with them, when you met them, when you first encountered them, it was such a loud experience in that quiet moment of eye contact that it has eclipsed everything else they have ever known or experienced as far as like the development of feelings. This is somebody that, may be very kind of like slow to kind of allow their emotions to take hold. They've been hurt in the past. They're wounded. They're guarded. This is somebody that has kind of healed those wounds as best as they can, and has sort of like moved beyond that in some sort of way. And so you have brought up a lot of that kind of like that energy of sort of the pain of what didn't work in the past, but rather than that being something that is like bringing them to a very low place, it's almost like they're looking at these memories of all the like what ifs, all the almosts, all of the things that they regret, or for a while had sort of wished that they could go back in time and change. And it's like they're looking at these things and they're kind of just filtering out the emotional attachment that they once had to those particular chapters in their life, those previous people, those emotions inside. Because every time they connect with you, and especially like right at that first moment, it's like your energy just kind of took over. It's like an awareness within them is like, this is love. This is what it should be, or it's going to be like what it should be. This is someone that's very confident when it comes to the idea of continuing to show up in this connection, because it's like, I have to know more. I have to experience more of this. This is like the answer to the question that I was always asking and had maybe given up hope of ever finding, that solution to. And yet here you have come into my life so unexpectedly, maybe in like a serendipitous kind of way. This is somebody that's even kind of tracing those steps, like a series of events that led to the right moment where you cross paths and everything changed for them. So it's been very profound, kind of the experience of where you're at now with one another versus like how far they have come internally and emotionally, and in whatever's developed between the two of you actually since that first encounter, since that spark, since that life-changing moment when they first looked into your eyes, when you first connected with one another. Yeah, we have the moment I met you, I knew you were the person that I'd been praying for. So this person might be kind of like taking their time, or they have taken their time in this situation because they've been kind of like wrestling with this energy of like, is this too good to be true? Am I dreaming? Is this really the makings of something that is that deep satisfaction and connection with another person that I have been hungering for my whole life. And I tried to find that with others in a million different ways, and it never worked out. And so I had to create that sense of connectivity with myself. I had to come to a place of like, I'm okay being alone, I'm okay being with me. I love myself and won't settle for anything that dishonors that or asks me to abandon myself. And in the midst of not just like reaching that kind of breakthrough moment and then all of a sudden you arrive, but something that has kind of, it's ingrained itself in this person's life. It's been become like the focal point of how they're living their life, how they're showing up for themselves, the things they're choosing to participate in versus like not go after, not look into or to reject or to allow to pass them by. All of that has like created a very precise pathway that they have been walking in order to kind of stumble into this situation with you. They see this as almost like a divine gift or a blessing, kind of like everything that I was needing and wanting, I found it when I stopped looking. It just kind of like came to me right in front of me, closer than I would have imagined, at a time in my life where I was beyond the point of thinking that this will be the season, this will be the occasion, this will be the year, this will be the moment where I'm going to have that kind of like wish fulfillment, that heart's desire that has sat with me for so long, for decades, maybe for this person's whole life. They might have always dreamed of like a version of happily ever after, since they were young, and they just kept getting disappointed. They came close. They thought maybe this is it, only to be shattered. They encountered a lot of things that absolutely weren't that in any sort of way, shape, and form. And it was like a living nightmare. This person's been through the ringer. They've had really great relationships. They've had really bad relationships. They've had good relationships with themselves, bad relationships with themselves. This person has kind of like gone full circle in terms of, all the polarities of what connection with other people and with oneself can mean. And at this place that they are at right now in their life, it's like you've come in like this breath of fresh air, and it has caused them to, sort of look very deeply within themselves and to cultivate a huge amount of gratitude that they didn't settle for things in the past. This is somebody that is almost very appreciative for certain wounds that they've sustained romantically previously, because without kind of an awareness of just how much something can sting or how long that hurt can sit with a person, like time not healing all things, but it's just something you have to learn to live with. It's like with that deep knowledge and awareness, they are able to appreciate the sweetness and the joy and the blessings and kind of like the life-giving energy that this experience with you has kind of like sparked within them. This person has become very alert to their emotions, very alert in your presence. And this is something that it feels like they can just sit in gratitude for this for very long periods of time. But with that is the sense of like they needed to talk themselves into this place of like, yeah, this is happening. This is here. It's not too late. It's kind of like good things come to those who wait, and this person has waited for a very long time. They might have even given up on waiting. It feels like they've kind of like reached a place of just acceptance, and they've been focused on other things in their life. They've been cultivating other things, kind of pouring into what is responding to them, career, family, friends, personal interests, hobbies, other goals. Like that's been the focal point of this person's reality for quite some time, and now love has walked in. Love has entered their life. And this is someone that's very astonished, not just because like, oh great, here's a connection with someone, but it's almost like you're showing up better than what they might have dreamed, that kind of like ideal partner or perfect person, what that would be like. Even the moment when you connected with this person that might have just been like ordinary, they're thinking about it now and kind of like, wow, that's like a storybook moment in and of itself. That's something that it's so sweet that it couldn't be any more perfect than that. This is definitely somebody that is so glad they didn't just like go on a dating website and start, chatting with a stranger and then one thing led to another. That this is something where they were just going about the motions of their reality, and all of a sudden they have this encounter, they have this experience with this amazing person who continues to sort of show them just by being yourself. Your energy is kind of showing them, the experiences with you is showing them like there is something more beyond kind of the idea of what love could be based on their experiences so far, and that this isn't something where they have to like watch someone else have that happiness, but like happiness is right at their doorstep. It's right in front of them. It's right here, just waiting for them to continue to open up more, or to show up more, or participate more in this. And so this is somebody that is like actively working to move beyond that sense of kind of like disbelief. Like, is this really my lucky day? Is this really my person? Is this blessing of love really intended for me? They're needing to, continue to kind of talk that belief into themselves. So this is almost the energy of like, continue to be patient with this person. If they're moving at kind of like a slower pace with you, because this isn't somebody that's like, I don't know how I feel. It's almost like they're kind of moving beyond this energy of disbelief inside of themselves. They could have gotten so lucky, that it's like, finally, it's their turn to have a very beautiful experience with another person in romance. We also have, I love the way that I feel when I am around you. So you make this person feel very confident, very accepted as they are. This is somebody that is trying to impress you. They're trying to put their best foot forward. This is somebody that wants to make sure that you know that they take this connection very seriously. They're trying to kind of showcase different facets of themselves without sort of showing up like at a job interview and sort of like, these are my best qualities, these are the reasons that you should pick me, this is the reason that I think we'd be good together. But in a way, it's almost like they're trying to demonstrate that to you. Like, these are the qualities that I bring to the table as a boyfriend, or as a fiance, or as a husband. These are the things that I bring to the table as far as a partnership is concerned. This person wants like best friends and lovers energy. This person likes the fact that you almost make them feel like a knight in shining armor. You make them feel like a king, and yet you are completely sovereign in yourself. You are not somebody that is like waiting to be rescued. And so this is something that this person is like seeing, hey, this is the makings of a very empowered connection. This is something that, kind of as well, this experience with you is something that it feels like is almost helping to save this person from a bit of apathy that has kind of cohabitated alongside this place of acceptance inside of them, of like, well, I guess love isn't meant for me. I guess, I got other blessings in this life. That's okay. I'm happy with myself. I love myself. I don't mind just being on my own, even though it feels like, yeah, they're comfortable in their own company. But, the other side of that coin has been like, I want someone. I want to be with someone. Everyone wants partnership. It's a natural human emotion to want to bond with another person, romantically speaking. And so this is something where this person like really feels that they've like hit the lottery. They feel very lucky that it's like, okay, finally the doors of love have opened. And it's not just anyone. It's not just like, okay, great, there's somebody that is making me feel something, so I better seize the moment because you never know when that'll come around again. It's like everything is kind of making this person feel like this is better than I would have expected. This is better than I could have hoped for. This is kind of like making the fact that I had to go through all those other experiences, all of that kind of like personal growth and development. I had to redevelop a relationship with myself in order to be able to see and to receive and to reciprocate with you on this deeper level. So this is somebody who has a lot of gratitude, for their journey up to this point in time, and they're very hopeful for what the future has between the two of you, because it's like you bring out the best in this person. You make this person really want to like do the most in order to show up for you, and to also consciously kind of will themselves to receive all of you, because this person may have a tendency to be like a giver, like an over giver. It may be very hard for them to receive love, to receive compliments. This is somebody that may have had to always kind of like show up for other people, but they've never really had anyone show up for them. And so it feels like, if anything, that in addition to that kind of like, is this too good to be true, that energy of disbelief that may be causing them to move a little bit slower, there's also this part of them that recognizes like, hey, I need to just sit in this stillness and allow you to take steps towards me as well. Not like, oh, I'm gonna make you chase me, but something where it's almost like this person knows their tendency to just kind of like give and give and give to the point where they feel really depleted, or they feel like they haven't really been seen or understood or valued or appreciated in other connections before. And so this is something where, in addition to like honoring that part of their nature, this is also somebody that's like, I gotta keep my mind and my heart open enough to allow you to express love to me in your own unique ways, so that you don't feel that kind of like your urge to sort of showcase your emotions. Maybe even previous partners who couldn't handle the capacity of you turned up at full volume, you giving of yourself very naturally, like ways in which you might have felt your love languages weren't met. Maybe you're both givers, and so this is kind of like a new experience for the two of you, being with someone who gives totally, and also moving into that place of stillness where you allow yourselves to receive. And so this is somebody, it feels like that so far it's like a new experience for them, not just like, oh, I haven't had anyone that really caught my attention in a while, or I haven't had romantic feelings for anyone in a while. Like, beyond all of that, it's the way in which the two of you interact, the way in which you connect, the way in which you are developing connection with one another in this moment that feels right on so many levels, that this person like didn't even know to ask for, didn't even think was possible. Or now that they've had a taste of this, it's kind of like, I see now what I was missing out on in all those other connections with all those other people that I chased, or that broke my heart, or that I didn't take steps towards because I was afraid, I was wounded, and then I always wondered what if. It's like all those other kind of energies are being cleared out of this person's like subconscious aura, almost something that might have been kind of just old memories, like ghosts of the past, even people that they were over, where they're like, I don't want to reconnect, I don't even want to think about that anymore. These things are like coming to the surface as a form of almost like what love was not, because this feeling so far as they're like showing up with you is like, yeah, this is something that this is closer to what I'd always imagined that it should be. What I'm feeling inside, that is the biggest clue and indicator to me that this is right. I don't feel that my nervous system is a wreck. I don't feel anxious. I don't feel like I need to like overperform or be something that I'm not. But you bring this person to a place of both excitement and reassurance inside, which is very important, it feels like, for them to continue to trust in this connection. And we also have, there's no doubt in my mind where you belong, and it's with me. Yeah, so this person definitely is intent on continuing to expand your connection with one another, continuing to show up for you in new and interesting ways, continuing to, kind of hold the space for you to blossom towards them in the manner that feels comfortable for you. This is not somebody that's in any kind of rush to sort of hurry the next phase of the connection along, but they do want it to move at a brisk pace. Because every day this person is like, I'm more and more certain that you are that dream person come to life. And so why would I waste any time or kind of leave the door open for somebody else to come in and swoop you off your feet? And then where would I be? So this is somebody that wants to kind of devote themselves to being more proactive, to showing up for you in this situation. This is somebody that is quickly moving beyond, or has already pretty much moved beyond that sense of disbelief, and they're like, yeah, okay, this is here, this is my blessing, this has, this is mine, like, I'm gonna make this happen, I'm gonna continue to take steps in order to manifest this desire, by meeting the universe halfway, not just by sitting there and wishing about it and daydreaming, but continuing to be very present in the material world, continuing to, kind of think outside of the box in terms of how I'm showing up, continuing to sort of check in with myself and resist the urge to self-sabotage by maybe overgiving and, not really receiving enough, to continue to operate from that space of gratitude and to really infuse that into their experiences with you. This is somebody that wants to let you know just just how much they appreciate you. This is somebody that wants to touch on that fact, maybe not outwardly at this point of like it was love at first sight, but this is somebody that is like building up that kind of courage within them to express these feelings more deeply. They want to tell you that they love you. They want to tell you how much you mean to them. They want to tell you that they are very interested, in having something more and developing something more with you. This is somebody that, wants to move at a pace that is comfortable with you, but this is also somebody that is very certain that they want something more. So they don't want to waste any more time kind of like lingering in this energy of like, well, I have to kind of bring myself up to belief in the moment. It's like they are certain, they are very sure, they knew from the moment that they met you, and now enough time has passed and they've looked at this from so many different angles that it's like, yeah, all signs are pointing to this is the person, this is the one, this is the right connection for me at this time in my life. So it feels like, get ready to experience more from this person. They're getting ready to express themselves. They're getting ready to, make those intentions known. They're getting ready to be more clear about how they're feeling and the type of future that they envision between the two of you. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.